Hello, everyone. We are back with another Vendetta box opening. I think a lot of people really liked the last one I did. I honestly performed better on the channel than I thought it would. And we have a bit of a twist because Packs.com, who I do consulting for, and allows you to open packs on their website that they will then send you, some of which I have designed. I had a conversation with that team over there. And said, hey, we're doing some of the stuff with other creators. What if I did one on my channel? A sort of box break, and then also a thing where we open the packs on the site, the same amount, and see what we get, kind of compare the two. I don't think that it's even a situation where we're trying to say like, oh, our site is like better than opening packs here. It's just another way to open them, and it's kind of a fun game. Obviously, if I get a signature card or something like that, then we're going to probably not be able to be competitive on the PAX website. But I know some people do not like the digital pack opening site stuff. They prefer to only ever open paper. The cool thing I'm going to do for you, folks who get frustrated by that type of thing or are not interested in it, is we're just going to open both these boxes now. And then once we get to the website part of the video, you can go away from it if you would like. But if you do decide to check out Packs.com, again, I do consulting, so they are basically sponsoring this video, I guess is the best way to put it. It's an untraditional sponsorship since I already do some work with them. But you can go check them out using my referral code, and which is Travis. Also put a link in the description, and we will basically give you a 5% bonus on your first sign up with the website. I'm also going to make a couple changes to my camera here. Everything always looks great whenever I have it set up for for the boxes. No, that's too much. And then whenever suddenly we come here and it's time to show the cards, everything gets a little wonky. So I'm just trying to find, maybe it's focus that I'm trying to find here, the place where we can get the highest fidelity on these cards so that you all can see them and see what I'm opening very clearly. Okay, well, that's probably about as good as we're going to get. I'm using the C922 camera by Logitech, by the way, and I have had some, I find it a little disappointing as a camera for pack opening. I know other people use it, and I have a decent amount of light coming on here, but the resolution is never what I want. It's probably honestly still better than a lot of the other folks that I see. That's not to knock on them. I just think obviously the pack opening scene for Riftbound is still getting going. But okay, I'm trying, speaking of the pack opening scene trying to get going, I'm trying to figure out a way to like speed open packs. And I think that the way that they are sorted, we want to basically skip up until a certain number of them. Oh, by the way, I should put these here. It's all part of the same. I'm still figuring out how to pack open like the professionals. Where do people skip to? What should I skip to? The battlefield? I guess if I'm not careful about it, then you end up seeing some stuff. Wild Claw here, and a Jace Defender of Tomorrow. We'll make a stack of the legends. I'm still figuring out how I want to sort cards as well. But yeah, so basically for today's video, we're going to be opening these two boxes of Vendetta, which I think are going for about 140 online right now. And then we're going to open the same amount, which will be 280 in coins, because there's two boxes, so that's 280 bucks on Packs.com. And then Packs is going to send me those cards, and so maybe in a future video I will show them off. If you guys like this and we keep doing it and everyone's having a good time with it, then we'll do it that way. Arc General. I feel like I've done a pretty good job of learning what cards are the good opens in this set, and I have the TCG Player price guide in front of me so that we can compare. Okay, Decree of Insight is, I don't think, one of the bigger hits. And here's a nice little cannon. Gotta be careful that I don't reach for the wrong box. But we will see. So let's talk a little bit about how Riftbound is going, because I think folks liked that I was able to have that conversation the last time we did this. And I would say Vendetta's now been out for the full weekend. And we have a Twilight Reveler. This is actually a pretty good card. I don't think it's going for a ton. At least it was good for me and pre-release. I did 2 pre-releases over the course of the last weekend. Or the last week, I should say. Pre-Rift. Oh my gosh, I'm using Magic the Gathering terminology. I'm sorry, folks. I'll tell you, there's a very clear line between pre-Rift and pre-release. A nice Alawi there. And Shady Spectacles. I know that this is worth, what, about $350 right now? I do feel like, looking at the prices now that we're, I think release was on Friday. I'm filming this on Tuesday. It'll probably go out on Wednesday. I do think that prices are starting to kind of figure out where they're going to be. I mean, we'll see if like a new meta deck comes out of one of the events. And okay. Hey, here's a Calm Rune. This is going for what? $8.48 right now. We'll go ahead and put it up here. Oh, my camera is not going to enjoy that. I got to figure out a better lighting setup. If anybody has suggestions, let me know. But had the set out now for, as I was saying, 5 or so days. Prices have basically gone where they're going to go. We got a Shen. We got a Mel Legend and a Dominus. So this is one of those nice 3-pack situations. Dominus is about $3 right now, I believe. And what I'm seeing after 5 days is that you have maybe about 10 cards outside of overnumbers that are worth something interesting, at least interesting to most people. And then you start to get to a place where there's not a lot going on. But this is a smaller set. I don't know how many people know that. NASA's Guardian of Knowledge and an Eclipse Dragon. And with smaller sets, it's just kind of weird. Like, it's funny, we were building the packs and we wanted to find some nice cards around the $10 range to put in to one of them. And I'll say, it's kind of hard to do. You have the runes, which TCG Player doesn't even have the pictures up for yet, which is kind of funny. Ambessa. Is Ambessa going for anything? Here's Kale Justified. I don't think either of them are going for anything. I'll just check really quickly. What is this? This is Ambessa the Wolf. It is always rough whenever you have a million copies of a card. No, Ambessa the Wolf not going for too much. The alternate art is going for something. And by something I mean a couple looks. But yeah, it does feel like, and I know this isn't surprising, but Riftbound has several sets now, outside of maybe Origins, I would say, where it feels like you're really chasing overnumbers or some sort of premium thing, maybe like a rune. The Z is, Akali Deadly Weapon. Okay, I think Akali, this might be up there. Oh, maybe not. Akali Deadly. Okay, Akali Deadly Weapon, unfortunately not up there. But we'll just double check. I'm trying not to go crazy. I know, I'm sorry that I am pausing in the middle of my... Oh. Is this TCG Player list not working too great? Okay, it's $3. No, it was fine. I just was over ambitious in my excitement for Akali Deadly Weapon. Well, I mean, I know a bunch of the Akalis are going really well here, some of the alt arts and some of her abilities, but I guess Akali Deadly Weapon is not one of the cards that is like particularly exciting. All right, We got Hextech Formula. We got an Ambessa Legend, and we got Shadow Dash. So this is one of the things that's interesting to me about Riftbound, having opened a lot of Magic. And obviously in Magic you have collector boxes, which are the big things that people like to open, that most things are tied to Decree of Focus, which are basically very expensive packs of cards. Sometimes the packs can be worth, you know, $150 just for 3 of them, which is more than these boxes. So it kind of makes sense, you know, that you're not going to be open bangers all the time in this Decree of Discord. Oh boy. Well, it's going to be hard for packs.com to beat this, but we'll find out. This is definitely what we're going to be chasing. So I was just talking about overnumbers being a really big deal, and this overnumber is Matriarch of Ore, currently going for $96. Okay, well, let's find a nice little sleeve for this. There's a good sleeve. I think I have the perfect sleeve. All right. And here's a picture of me and my girlfriend at the Eiffel Tower. All right. So this is our big hit for this. I don't know how this order run ended up over here. It's probably because I chucked it whenever I opened the Ambessa. That's really exciting. So this is, I think, the 3rd overnumber I've ever opened. I haven't opened, you know, boxes and boxes of Riftbound. Maybe if this channel starts popping off and people want to watch more pack openings. But it's really exciting when you hit an overnumber. It's funny because I was just talking about what is exciting to open and what isn't. Here's a Riven and a... Oh, Public Execution is going for something. I want to say it's going for about 30. Let's find out. Nope, it's going for $7. Well, we'll keep it up here then. This will be our like $7+ range, along with our Ambessa. Up in the glare area of my pack opening world. So I was just talking about how it's a little feast or famine sometimes coming from Magic, trying to open Riftbound. And I'll say that whenever you get to feast after the famine, it feels really good. Like opening an overnumbered card just feels so good, because they're not in every box, and it's tough to find them. And depending on the one that you open, it could be worth a ton. Yeah, and they just look so good. I really do think Riot. It's funny because some of the stuff they do, I'm like, come on, guys. But they have cooked, certainly, in certain areas. Oh, there's something fancy back here. We're going to find out. It is a Alt Art Zed from the Shadows. All right. Is Temporal Breach going for anything? Let's find out. Let's find out about that Zed from the Shadows. That's about $5.76 as I do this, and Temporal Breach is a 58-cent card. Okay. So there's a world where I have missed a card that is worth something. I'll do another review of these cards before I switch over to the packs.com pack opening stuff, to make sure that there's nothing crazy that people are going to yell at me in the comments about. But I do think that we're probably going to end up, so again, the boxes were selling for about 140 as I open this. I feel like we're probably going to end up somewhere around there. So Astral Heron is going for, I think, $8 right now, $9. About 10, maybe it's gone up a little bit. Maybe it's starting to see some more play and hit some more lists. And that's nice to see. So, maybe we'll end up beating the 140 number. Because right now we're probably at... We'll see. We're going to have to hit a couple things. Because I think we're probably at about 120 right now. Morgana Vindictive. I really like this Morgana art. I do like the theme of this set. I hope in the future they're able to find a better theming for it. I know Pokemon will just kind of be like, this is the Rayquaza set, or this is I don't know, Team Rocket set. But Magic, I think, depending, and now people have strong opinions on it, but Magic will end up with like very heavily themed sets, and people really like that whenever it hits, and not so much when it doesn't, much like this Mel who did not hit. Here's an alt art Shen. So we've hit another alt art Shen, Scourge of the Shadows, and that card is less than $2. It doesn't enter our list up at the top. We're gonna have to see how Vendetta shakes out. I think it's already a better set than Unleashed. I like a lot of the cards in it more. I had more fun at Pre-Rift. It seems like people are enjoying it more. I was curious how, like, a smaller set, because this was a smaller set, how it would do. But yeah. Okay. So box one, I'm going to tentatively say that we got about, we said this was like 95. So this is like 102, 110. The Z from the Shadows is 5. I don't think we hit 140. And I know some people are going to say, well, what about those other cards that you've opened, Travis? Why are you only looking at those? The thing is, whenever, I don't know how many box openings y'all have watched, but most of the time people are not counting the cards that are worth like less than $2, because they often aren't playable. People aren't really going to buy them from you. And so it's not something that is, they have some value, but they're not really worth opening or doing anything with. They're often cards that maybe you can just like give to some folks at your LGS or whatever. It's just not something that is really worth talking about. So most people have like I'm only going to really be excited about or count the cards that are like $3 or more. And that's kind of where I'm at on this. And especially in Riftbound, where like the cards that are not worth a lot, I think they're just not really worth talking about. Okay, so we got another Dominus. I'll put this up there, I guess. I could put the other Dominus up. But yeah, we did not. Here's the thing with Riftbound. Even when we open this overnumber, we did not beat our numbers. So now we're in set box 2. I guess I'll set these super aside so that we know this was our box 1 pile, and then we can have a fresh pile for our box 2. Please let me have feedback, or give me feedback, because I might do more of these box openings in the future. I do like to open product, and I think that Riftbound is getting better and better with creating exciting pack opening experiences, and that's going to lead me to want to open more. It's going to lead more people to want to watch them, and so it is worth it. But yeah, we're going to see after we get through both these boxes if packs.com can compete with this. Some of the packs I think over there are pretty cool. I'm proud of the work that we're doing on some of that. But I'd love to know what you all are thinking about Vendetta. Are you all opening boxes? I've been spending a lot of time on the subreddits for Riftbound and Riftbound, and there's like an investment Riftbound subreddit now. There are subreddits, I think, where people are just posting exclusively their pack openings and seeing what they got. Nasus and Ashen. Yeah, the Legend slot, I know that they announced that they're changing that at the beginning of next year. Oh yeah, we had a bunch of news come out. And we now know a little bit about some changes that they're making to competitive, which is I'm really excited about. I think they have had an issue for a while where competitive was just a little underwater in terms of, okay, there's our next public execution. In terms of there were not enough events for the amount of people who wanted to play in them. I talked about that in my previous Vendetta box opening. And I think now they're streamlining a lot of the stuff, making it a little bit more clear where things go, and helping people get excited about places to play, events they can play in. And I do some work with one of the third-party TOs, and I know it's really exciting that Riot's now starting to figure out ways to support third-party TOs, tournament organizers, for those that are not familiar. Okay, I've heard good things about Spiderling packs. Steve Wisey, I watched his video, and he was excited about Spiderlings. Here's another Akali Deadly Weapon. So we'll see if the new third-party TO stuff is really cool and people can get drawn to those in a similar fashion to how they were getting drawn to the RQs. Male, Curator, Stance, and there's our Fury Rune. So my understanding, and you all can let me know in the comments if I'm wrong on this, is that you want to get only ever one of the runes, the alt runes, because if you get a 2 rune box, then things have gone wrong. You are not getting what you want. You probably aren't getting an overnumber. There's maybe some other cool stuff that are in that slot. But maybe I'm wrong. Oh, hello. Okay. So this is a cool thing. This was a Wild Rift collab that they did in this set, which is funny because I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know how many people will realize it's a Wild Rift collab, because Wild Rift it's maybe more prominent in the East, and so maybe that's something that people will get excited about. But yeah, so this is part of what, there's 5 of them, right, that you can get that all say SP. Well, I guess this says SP6, so it implies the existence of 6 of them. So maybe I'm forgetting one of them, but yeah, I can look it up right now as we go through it. But beautiful card. I really do like it. I like that these all feel like they fit a theme. You know, in the future, I would love it if they did more of this stuff. Yeah, so there's Sonalux, Ezreal. Looks like, is that Set? And then who am I missing? This one further up? Oh, Ari probably, right? Am I correct in that? And Kaisa? Yeah, that makes sense. So these are cool reprints. I'm excited about what they're doing here. And Lux is going for $54. Okay, so we're getting there. The problem is I doubt that we're going to open anything else particularly exciting in this box. I feel like once you start to get to this point where you've seen, you know, an alt rune and one of the awesome bonus sheet cards, you start to go, all right, that's probably it for me. That is probably it. But it's really exciting. It's tough, you know, because you want to get excited about the Lux, but you're like, oh, if I bought this box for 140, which thank you to PAX for doing this. This is not a like Riot box. The last one I opened was a Riot box, but PAX is going to cover the cost of this for me. Well, here is a alt art of Renekton. See, this is the thing. You just got to say, I'm not going to open anything else that's exciting. Now, this Renekton alt art for Brute is going for $2.89. It breaks my heart because I think that the alt arts are really cool. The foiling on them is very, very nice. It's very premium. It feels very good. I think they did a great job with it. And they just don't go for much unless obviously they see playing. I'm trying to figure out how to manage this glare. I think I'll put Lux up here next to Ambessa. She can hang out. And then I guess unfortunately, you're going to get a ton of glare on that Fury rune. I'll try to figure out my pack opening setup. Again, if anybody has feedback, I'd be open to it. But it's pretty cool to see what they're doing. Now, the thing I should have said at the start of this is that what I'm hunting for in this box, I guess the remainder of this box, which seems very unlikely given what I've opened, but what I really want is the Leona Overnumber. Leona, who's hiding on my playmat underneath it. So this was the card that I previewed whenever Riot gave me a preview card. And Leona is one of my favorite champions. Definitely one of my mains. I main Blitzcrank more now, but aesthetically I enjoy Leona more. I was actually just playing some League Classic. Any of you all playing League Classic these days? Initially I was not playing much because I feel like you really got to find mess a card, right? I feel like you got to find a group to play with. And oh, there's our Astral Heron. Otherwise, you're just not going to have a good time, which is how I've always felt about League of Legends. But I think even more so with Classic, because it is a little more about, well, it's a tougher game in many ways, is the way that I would put it. There's less burden of knowledge. Well, actually, I think there is more burden of knowledge now that I think of it. Akali Silent. Are any of these? I don't think. Akali, you're not going for anything right now, right? Akali Silent. Nope, 34 cents. So funny. The packs are, this is the crazy thing about Riftbound packs, is it's just so easy to spend, I don't know, $4 or $5 on a pack and then be like, oh, nothing interesting. All right, we got a Zed and a Kennen. But then again, when you hit the overnumbers or some fancy bonus sheet card like that Lux, things just get pretty good. All right, we got a Shen and a Kennen legend. So they've announced that they're changing the legend distribution. They're now going to take, what, a common slot or uncommon slot to try to help people feel less bad about opening them, which I think is going to be really interesting to see what that does for the cost of cards. Because theoretically, you should be hitting the non-overnumbers. I assume overnumbers will still have the same distribution of about 1 every 3 boxes. But I do think we're going to be seeing more of the regular rares. And I think that will be that'll be interesting. Maybe more epics too. It's funny to see where this game is now. You know, it was only about 15 months ago that I went into Riot with a ton of other creators and folks, and they revealed how they were going to do pack distribution, what the packs were going to cost, how everything was going to go. And so now we see, I got to figure out how to get better about sliding these cards out of the way. I know how to do it in Magic, but it is tough to do it here. Renekton, a bottled Constellation is about, what, $2? Let's see. 80 cents. I think it was $2 maybe 2 days ago. But, you know, the funny thing too is it's so cheap to build a deck, because whenever you see all these cards that are so inexpensive, and some of them see play, you know, I think we're starting to hit the point that Pokemon has hit. Obviously, we're not opening nearly as much, but where so many people are opening packs to chase the overnumbers, and they're going through 3 boxes, and the only thing that they really want, and I'll say it, they're gambling. They're gambling on trying to open an overnumber card. And I understand that some people think that opening physical packs of cards, trying to randomly get, oh, that's so funny. I just clipped that token. Gotta be careful. That could have been an overnumber card. I understand that some people like to believe that opening packs of cards that are randomly distributed in the hopes of opening something big, that is definitely not gambling. And yet, I swear, I cannot see the difference between using a website like packs.com and opening boxes of Riftbound cards hoping to get something other than a Shen Scourge of the Shadows alt art. Well, okay, so pack 2 or box 2 was overall less valuable, I believe, because the alt arts are not really worth much. The Lux is about $60. This Fury rune is about what? Usually Fury runes, I think, tend to be the least valuable. This one's $7, so it's kind of on the lower end of the alt runes. And then a couple of playables. So this, I would say, was a box of maybe $80 or so worth of cards. And so between our $280 of box money that we've spent on these, or Packs.com has spent on these, we've gotten about 180, somewhere between $180 to $200 worth of cards, I think. So we'd be down a decent amount in terms of the value. But listen, part of the premium that you are paying for whenever you buy a box is the joy of opening a pack and seeing something very cool and novel in it. And that is what happens when you open this Lux bonus sheet. Honestly, the 2 boxes, it's funny because we whiffed hitting the value of the boxes, but I think that this is probably one of the better things you could ask for out of 2 boxes. So I haven't opened, I've only opened up that one other box, but that one was pretty much a dud. So I would say this is definitely better than the other one that you guys saw on stream or on YouTube. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go load up packs.com, and I get to open a great deal of cards off of that website. So we're going to see what we can do. We'll do, well, actually, I guess I could just set it up and then we don't even need to cut, which is quite exciting. As long as you guys can just hear the sound of my voice. I should have prepped this ahead of time, but I realize now that this is something I can just do on the fly. Okay. Nope, that's not it. See if I can fix it. We're going to go in and change the setting and go here. And now it should show up. Oh, it is unfortunately sized incorrectly, but I think I can fix that really quickly. Transform, fit to screen. There we go. The only thing that I'm noticing is that it's washed out because, there we go, Force SDR, because I use a beautiful HDR monitor. Okay, so we're now here on Packs.com, and I have 293 coins here. I'm only going to use about 280 of them, so we need to save 13 of them so that I have some coins to cover shipping. But we're now going to go to singles, and we're going to see how we can do. So we have a bunch of different singles here, but these are Pokemon. We want to go to Riftbound. And I have created a bunch of different packs for Packs.com. Not all of these were designed by me, but some of them were. And one of the packs that I'm definitely going to open is this Overnumber pack. So every card in this is an overnumber. You're guaranteed to get an overnumber. We'll do that at the end. So we need to save about 100 coins for this pack. But we'll open some of these first. So I need to remember that we're saving like 120. So that's when we'll go to that. So here we go. So this is a pack. You can see all the different odds here. If you want to go open it, it has 34 different cards, all from Vendetta. And while I wasn't able to get the Leona in the pack that I was opening just now, the physical packs, we can see if I will open one here. So let's go ahead and spend our first 20. Here's the problem with this. I'm very excited that I opened this card. However, many people are going to say that this was rigged in my favor. And so I'm actually somewhat disappointed because the chances of this happening are so ridiculous that no one is going to believe that I did this. So let me just tell you that the way our site works is that there's like a mechanism called Provably Fair technology that you can go in and you could check your seed, your client seed against the hash server seed, and rotate to reveal a non-hash server seed in your previous game. We'll rotate it now. And folks who want to spend the time to go check this out can go check that out. But that is fucking hilarious. Okay, well, as I said, we got some cool packs and some cool things can happen. I doubt we're gonna do as well, but we'll open another. Okay, here's a Zed, which we've previously opened. That is so funny. That is so funny. All right. Doing quite well. That is it was very funny. Okay. I'm just a little flabbergasted at the sheer luck and audacity of this situation. All right, we need to save some. We've opened several of the Riftbound Rundown Vendetta. So let's go open some of the smaller. So this pack is a little. You have some smaller hits down here, and so it's going to be less expensive, but we'll do some pulls on this. I am just so distracted by the fact that this video did so well. I promise, folks. I promise, folks. I'm going on a legendary run right now. That's so funny. Listen, I just want to make it clear that I'm getting very lucky with a lot of these packs. And so when you go to packs.com, you could get as lucky as me, but know that I am overperforming my odds. Again, if you do want to join packs.com and open some cards there, the way this works, I've been stammering through my reactions to everything. I'll show you what the interface looks like before we get down to 120. But the way that this works is that you open the cards on the site, and then we ship you the cards. So it's so funny. I got that, Leona. So you can ship a ton of cards, all for about $7.50. A coin is $1 on our site, by the way. So generally speaking, you put $1 in, you get a coin. The exception to that is if you use my code, which is Travis, you can get 5% bonus whenever you make your deposit. Okay, so we're going to go look at the backpack. Here is everything that I have opened. My backpack currently has 280 in value, and I did, yeah, these are all from this session. We don't see anything that I've opened here that I wasn't supposed to, right? Or that I did. So we have about 280 in value. And then what I could do right now, and I'm going to open that overnumbered pack in a second, but what I could do right now is I could check the boxes on all of these cards, and I could either have them shipped to me, like this Leona, I'm definitely going to keep. It is now in my withdrawal list. Or what I could do is say, I just opened several of these cards. I don't really need them. I certainly don't need 2 Ambessas or 2 Cannons. So I'm just going to keep one of each and then get rid of some of these lower cards. And now I can sell these cards back for the exact value of the card. So there we go. Now we've sold them. And you know what I'm going to go do? I'm going to go open a couple more packs before I hit that 120 number, which is when we'll trigger the final overnumber vendetta open. So that's kind of cool, right? Is that if you open cards that you don't want, you can just immediately sell them back and go get cards that you do want. And there's another way to do that too, which I will show you. All right, so I think what we'll do now is we'll go open one more of this $20 one, which is Riftbound Rundown. See if we get something good. All right, we got another Nasus. So what's funny was I was going to show you how you can get the card that you want, because I was going to probably just try to get the Leona that I opened earlier. But I really don't want this Nasus. The Zed is not really worth much. I'm just going to clear these out. And then what I can do is, okay, I got another 20 coins going here. I can just go to the marketplace, and now that I'm in Riftbound, I can go find a card that I do want on the website. So, for instance, if I wanted, it's sorted high to low right now, but if I wanted to, I could go find maybe a Lux Lady of Luminosity to go with my Lux that I just opened, the Lux Crown Guard. And I could add this to cart and it'll just be the coin. So what's really cool is, like, let's say I did open something crazy that I didn't want. Like I opened a signature Nasus. I could just go and sell that card back. Be like, I don't want Mr. Armpit, and I can go get the cards that I want off the marketplace. I'd be able to build multiple Riftbound decks if I opened one of these. And unlike traditional vendor situations where they're only going to give you 70 or 80% of the value of this card, we just buy it back from you at full cost, and then you can go get it again what you want on the marketplace. Okay, so it is time for us to do a overnumbered pull. I'm a little nervous because, all right, I'll just say it. I would like to open this Diana to go with the Leona. However, I'm a little nervous because the last time I said that, I ended up opening it immediately, and then people are going to say it's rigged. So I've put it out there. We'll see if I get it. If I do, I promise it's not rigged. So this pack is the most expensive for our Vendetta packs at $104 right now. It adjusts to the market value of the cards in the pack, so we'll see what we get. Okay, we got the Aurelia. I would have loved the Jace. This is a win. God, I got really lucky. I promise you this is not juice. So I think, if you want to be thoughtful about this, what you could do is you could always go look at the pack and see that it's 104 coins and then do the math on like how likely it is that you get a card that is worth more than that. But yeah, look, we got way more luckier on packs.com than we did with the physical packs, but I'll tell you, what I'm going to be ordering right now is 2 overnumbers, some alt arts. We didn't hit any of the bonus sheet stuff. And man, our backpack, we got really lucky. Our backpack is worth 389 right now just because of the fact that we hit 3 overnumbers. Sorry, I was saying 2, but we hit 3. Wow. That was very lucky. Okay, look, you're not going to get this lucky. You could get this lucky. The chances are that you are not going to get this lucky. So yeah, we're at 389. So we spent 280 worth of coins, which is $280, and I would say this was packs.com beat the Riftbound packs right now, the physical packs, and that's not always going to happen, but it did here. I'm walking away with 4 overnumber cards. One thing that I will say I'm just trying to be neutral here, as neutral as I can be, given that I do this stuff. We don't have signature cards available in any of the packs right now because of how volatile the market has been on those. I hope that we can get them back. We had a pack for a while that did have them, so if you really are hunting the signature, then the physical packs are for you. But if you want to have some fun and try to see, maybe you're going to buy a box of Vendetta, you could go do the same thing here, where you could be like, you know what, I was going to buy 2 boxes of Vendetta, I'm now going to buy 1, and then open some of these packs on packs.com. There's a link in the description where you can sign up for the website. Please use my code, which is Travis, when you make your deposit. That's how I can maybe make more of these videos in the future and maybe open more Riftbound product. And yeah, I'm going to go check out and have these sent to me. So thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this, if you have any feedback on me opening the physical packs, because maybe I could get better at that. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.